So finally, let's look at the Soviets. We're gonna have to look at the SVD-30. Interesting. Right, in the plane. This should be interesting. Well, we can definitely look at the tank. I probably don't have the silver to actually get the plane. But, we'll see. It's because I basically have skipped out on their whole tech tree. I hate that that's a thing. Hey, just enough. Alright, so... Just tell me what... No, it doesn't tell me what squad you go on. It's gotta be the Yak-9T squad, which is... 787th. And... we'll figure it out. Oh, okay. Not the 787th. It's okay, one of these days. Okay, here we go. Goes on the 287th. And then I just need to figure out where the tank goes. Oh, there we go. Makes things easy. Let me look at tank squads. Maybe this one? I don't know. One of these squads should be able to put a T-34 on it. Those are all T-30-45s. Ah, this'll have to work. And then, I guess I should probably find a plane to compare it to. Hopefully this squad will work for this. I mean, they're BR-3 planes. I don't think I can put a BR-4 or 5 plane on any squad other than this one. CLA-7 goes on this squad. Yeah, I suspect that's the only squad that the LA-7 can go on. Great shame, but it is what it is. Let's start with the I-185. This is getting Fab 250s, which is honestly kind of nice. I suppose the only drawback is that it looks like I can't take this and the LA7 at the same time. It seems like a fine plane. It seems maneuverable enough. Also, in very un-Russian fashion, you do actually get a ton of ammo on this plane. That was not ideal. Alright, let's look at the T-34-57. Oh, it's one of these. It's one of these. Alright, put your head out. I hate that there are T-34s where you can't look in front of the tank as the commander. It is the worst. Literally the worst. So, I'm sure to nobody's surprise, your APHEBC can just blow through the front of these Panzer IVs. I'm sure we can do the same with this Stug. Again, to nobody's surprise. I wish we just spawned with everything facing us. I doubt we can go through this one, but let's find out. Let's see the machine gun. Huzzah, we can go through the machine gun. So you might have to get a little bit creative dealing with Panthers, but I mean, you can deal with them if you need to. Shoot the machine gun and try to get around the side. Alright. By comparison, I know that this isn't the perfect comparison, but I'm pretty sure the other T-34s use that same crew, so we're going to look at it compared to this one. So they should basically have the same gun. So, you can also pen Panzer IVs. Great shock. I'm sure no one was expecting that. You can also go through the machine gun on that. I'm pretty sure the main benefit to the T-34-57 is supposed to be its armor pen, but to be honest, this feels like it can do everything that it does. So, my recommendation is to just use the 75, but the 57 usually isn't bad in an anti-tank role. It really makes me wish that we just didn't have machine gun ports in these tanks. Alright, let's go check out the new premium things. So, starting off, let's go look at the rocket artillery. These guys are getting SVD 30s, which, I'm not gonna lie, this thing looks a lot like an SKS. Like, this looks a lot like an SKS. It's a little bit different up front, and the mechanism back here itself is different too, but like the stock and like the magazine sticking out there remind me a lot of an SKS. You also get a neat little scope. So, looking at 14.8 at 10 meters, 11.5 at 100, 350 round a minute fire rate, 80-22, and a 5-round feed system. These are BR2. The German ones were BR3. This should be interesting. I feel like at BR2 the squad's going to be extremely nasty. Like, I feel like they're going to be really, really good, but we'll see. So, there's this 26th Guards Signal Battalion of the 16th Guards Infantry Division. The division was initially formed July 6th at 41 in Zagorsk near Moscow in the 249th Infantry Division. In 41, they fought on the Kalinin front, and by the summer of 42, they entered the bloody battles of the first Rezov-Shchevesk operation. Yeah, my Russian's terrible. Alright, and it's the same loadout, just like everybody expects. 4 radio operators and 1 engineer. I think those little wheels are cool. It'd be neat if we could zero them and have them actually rotate through the different little peepholes. It's actually quite a bit of zoom. These guys actually feel kind of like a proper sniper squad, where I kind of expected them to have the shorter range scopes, kind of like the German boogeymen. Like the way that rifle sounds. It almost feels like it would be worth it to run them without the scope. They're pretty stable. 5 rounds isn't very many, though. I kind of wish they were a 10-round rifle. And I do really like that scope. I mean, I don't really like this type of scope, reticle-wise, but I like the range that you get on it. You can pretty comfortably sit here and fight at close range like that. And you can also transition into just being a sniper. Alright, it's rocket artillery time.
Принято! Артиллерия, огонь!
I can't say for certain. I feel like the rocket artillery might be very slightly more accurate than the other artillery, but it could also just be lucky dispersion on, like, that call. And the one earlier. I'm not sure. It literally might just be a reskin of the normal artillery, which would be kind of disappointing. Um, it feels kind of gimmicky, to be honest. And I think that the way they should have implemented it to like make it stand aside or stand apart from the normal artillery. The normal artillery has ranging shots. I feel like the rocket artillery should not have gotten ranging shots. It should have just fired the whole barrage. And that should have been the thing. Like, the normal artillery might get there sooner, but it has a build-up. You know, where you have, like, round, then all the other rounds. I feel like the rocket artillery, they could have made the call take longer, but then had all of the rockets arrive at the same time. So, like, if you're paying attention to the map, you might see it coming in or whatever. I don't even know if you can see it on the other team, though, now that I think about it. I don't know. Regardless, I think it would have been a lot cooler if the rocket artillery just all fired. But that's just me. They basically look like your standard Russian soldiers. Nothing too fancy about their outfits. The rifles are cool, though. Now let's go look at the one that I have been waiting for, the one that I am most excited for, the KV-2. So, 28th Semper Tank Brigade of the 28th Tank Brigade. They were formed September 28th, 1941, in the city of Narofominsk, in the Moscow region. They took part in the battle for Moscow and in the battles for Skirmanovo, in which she suffered significant losses. Since March of 42, the brigade's been fighting on the Kalinin front as part of the 30th Army. Let's try it out. So, as per a proper KV-2, we have two loaders. I really don't want to know what it's going to be like without one, but oh dear. We'll find out. Well, next century when the gun's reloaded, you know? So we're getting SAP CBC and HE. I'm curious how well the SAP CBC is going to actually pen. I mean, I know it's not going to be a ton, but like, I wonder what we can kill with it. Let's try the side of a Tiger 2. Alright, so we're not going through with that. And I don't know if you can just derp people in Enlisted. I mean, I've never had a gun this big, but I guess we'll try just slapping the side of a Tiger 2 with HE and see what happens. I'm totally gonna kill the loader after this, and see how long it takes. Oh, and we do have a machine gun. Alright, so we can just derp the side of a Tiger 2 with HE. Alright, when we reload, then I'll kill off a few guys so that we only have one loader. God, it's gonna take so long to reload. Alright, let's see. There's one down. There's two down. I want to make sure that there's no machine gunner to take his position. Oh, you know what? He's gonna... Alright, we'll kill a third guy. Alright, there we go. So, we now have one loader. When we reload, we're killing off the other loader. We're see how long it takes with no loader. This doesn't actually seem like it's that much longer. Alright, and now with no loaders. Still can use the machine gun though, which is nice. Yeah, that feels slow. That is very slow. Well, there's your reload. And here's our steel behemoth from the outside. It was a good-looking tank. I mean, the turret's kind of boxy, but he's mighty KV2, comrade. I know it's BR4. I know it's probably going to get absolutely clapped because it's on a KV1 hull, so it's not like it's got crazy armor. So I really do want to get this. I do also feel like it's going to get killed constantly. Like, it's very much so in that glass cannon idea of tanks in Enlisted, where every tank is basically a glass cannon, but some are more than others. This one, it's got a really long reload time. It doesn't have great armor. If you shoot and there's infantry there, they're all just going to get deleted. But at the same time, I feel like every time you spawn this thing, you're going to just get annihilated by the first AT gun to look at you. And it's not just AT guns, it's like AT guns, Offenrohrs, Panzerfaust 30s, 60, or rather Panzerfaust 60s and Panzerfaust 100s. Panzer IVs should be able to go through the front of you. So, yeah, it's probably going to be a rough vehicle to use, but it is cool. It's kind of the same with the German one. The German one is really cool, but I don't know. If I get it, expect a review about how it actually performs in battle. But, we'll see. At BR4, it doesn't exactly have a ton of competition. Like, you've got the T-3485E, but there's already T-3485s littered throughout the tech tree. Like, this is definitely the most unique thing here. But I already know from playing, like, the IS-2, IS-2 has a lot more armor than this, and the IS-2 gets obliterated all the time. Like, its armor just doesn't stand up. Again, I think the main problem here comes down to one of battle ratings and how the, like, matchmaking system works. Realistically, I think the KV2 should be a BR3. Like, it is an early war vehicle. I don't think it belongs up here with the late war stuff. I don't even think they were still in service in the late war. I think they were all destroyed, more or less. Because they didn't build a ton of KV-2s. But the problem is, if you put it at BR3, then it's going to see BR2, and I don't know. I feel like it belongs at BR3, though, because BR3 is where the Panzerfaust 60 is. It's where you're going to find, like, the Panzer IV-G and the Panzer IV-J, and, like, the Panzer IV-F2 and the Stug, and all of these vehicles are going to be able to kill it. I don't know. I kind of feel the same way about the Flak 88. I don't think this should... I especially don't feel like this one should be BR4. Where is it? Is it even on the list here anymore? I'll find it in my own lineup. I was going to compare it to the Dickermax. I just need to actually find it. Oh, you know what? I've got it on here already. The Dickermax is a BR3 tank destroyer, and it's got a 105mm cannon, and honest to God, I think the Dickermax is going to be a better vehicle than the Flak 88. Like, the Flak 88, I think, is really cool. I think it has the potential to be an awesome vehicle. I think it's just too high in BR. Like, you're more exposed with a smaller gun in this than you are in the Dickermax. And, like, the Dickermax is cool, performs alright, but I just don't think that this is going to see that kind of performance. I feel like they stuck it up here just for parity with the KV-2, and I feel like it's probably also because of the timed fuse, which, you know, I wasn't able to make use of yet. I feel like this is going to suffer at this BR, though. I also think it's a little bit odd that the Walthers are coming in at BR3 when the Soviet ones are at BR2, but it might be because the Italian radio squad already exists. I want to look at one more thing with the Americans. Technically the British. I don't actually have the Italian radio company, so we're gonna have to look at the American one. I want to see if these guys have access to the rocket artillery. I know they'll have the supply crate.
Reloading! Calling in artillery!
Huh. Well, they don't even have the supply rate yet. That's interesting. I wonder if that's an oversight. Ah, it's because I have to go in and manually unlock it. Alright, so they don't have access to the rocket artillery, which is a shame. I kind of wish that they would retroactively add it to these guys and just make it a premium squad thing, especially because I really do think it's just a gimmick. I don't actually think that there's anything particularly impressive about it.